Morning, guys, or afternoon, or maybe good evening. Or depends where you are in the world. Welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading the love during this pandemic because we all need a little bit of loving. Well, that's what I told the Russian last night, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm still in the spare room for those who are interested. Before I go any further, look at the ticker below. It's please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Uh, Subscription is free, so if you haven't done it by now, why haven't you done it? There's my Twitter and Facebook. Facebook page is going well at the moment, hitting 700, and the Instagram. And also as well, Alan's going to kill me because I didn't do it last night. Get your 10% off your clothing range, awaydayofproud.co.uk. Please quote football with Brownie, and you have to use a capital F, capital W, and capital B in our promo code. Get you a 10% off your new clobber, ready for when we all can go back to the football and you can show off your brilliant clobber to your mates. Welcome to the Cardiff City show. And my good friend, Dan, GTFM, Dan Blakemore, Forza Italian Football. How are you, my friend?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Yeah, well, I've been accused of all sorts, Dan, because we had to miss last week. I've even been accused of locking you down in my attic at one point. So yeah, I listen. You're very busy last week with work and so on. But thankfully you're back, and it's all things moving forward.
Yeah, I've been a bit busy couple of weeks. Announcement coming soon for a new job that I've taken. Which when it does, you'll hear first, I'm sure. But yeah, busy couple of weeks.
Well, we do like to break the news on the channel, so hopefully that it be sooner rather than later with you a breaking news. I know it will anyway, my friend. Let's look in the comments first before we go any further. Hi, Cardiff City fan. Hope you're well, my friend. David Hasselhoff. How's the budgie smugglers, Dave? How's Pamela Anderson? Currently watching you while having a smelly poo. Good on you, mate. Just make sure you wipe your ass afterwards. Maximus. All right, mate. How yourself? And yeah, Joseph Ritzel. I'm sure he had a cap. He had a cap like this, didn't he? I'm sure he did. Right. Anyway, let's start off, and let's. I don't know if you had a few domestic issues like I did after that Cardiff win last week, Dan. But what a win it was! What a win it was! And oh, by the way, happy birthday to your little boy as well. Happy belated to your little boy as well.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it was uncomfortable viewing for probably the last 45 minutes of it. I thought we played quite well in the first half. It was probably a 50-50 contest. We got the goal, we kept pressing. But after half time, I think we were just living on a wing and a prayer, weren't we? We blocked, I don't know how many shots, and we can probably thank Swansea for being extremely wasteful and only managing to hit the target once. Because I think they had something like 75 possession in the second half. I don't think we got out of our own end for the majority of it.
But the defence really stood firm. The defence stood firm. And yeah, I don't know what Mick McCarthy and Terry Conn have been doing with that defence, but I tell you what, compare that to how it was before McCarthy's time. It's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like it was water before. It was water before. It's just the defence have all gone into a massive freezer, and it just frozen up. You can't get anything through it. And, Aiden Flint, Dan, and we at first, you more than me. I'm passing it back here. But Aiden Flint, in all fairness, has really, really took his opportunity, and fair play to him. And he may be a scruff, but he's our scruff, eh?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think there's still occasions where the back five can look a little bit ragged and out of control, but it seems like that Swansea derby compared to the first time that we played them this year, it looked like it meant something to everybody, and there was no way they were prepared to lose. Even when the back five looked a little bit ragged and out of place, people were throwing themselves in front of shots to block them. It was a monumental effort, and I think Flint probably led from the front alongside Morrison. I've probably been his harshest critic. I've not thought a lot of him for the last 12 to 18 months. But I mean, he has, since Mick McCarthy's come in, he's been nothing short of fantastic. And I can't fault him. Long may that continue.
I don't know if you've seen my Friday night show I had with Steve. Was it Friday night? Yeah, it was Friday night. Yeah. And I have mentioned it a couple of times as well. Was before that Friday night show, Mick McCarthy done a press conference going into the game. And he was saying, now Steve was saying, look, Mick McCarthy's an old head at this. He, like any other manager, it's sales talk, because I always used to accuse Neil Harris of being a used car salesman at times, as you know. Mick McCarthy was saying how much he enjoyed playing in derbies and managing derbies, and he was basically it came across as if he was geeing both the players and, most importantly, the fans up, ready for the game, ready for what was coming to follow 24 hours later. Now, what I said to Steve was, if you can go back, you have to go back before Dave Jones' time, if I'm honest with you, to have a manager who understands the South Wales derby. Too many times I've listened from Cardiff City managers in the past saying, "Oh, it's just another game. It's only 3 points." It's not only 3 points. Right, it's not, to the fans, it is not only 3 points. And for the first time in, Dave Jones, when did he come? 2003, 2004, whatever? You're talking basically the best part of 20 years of finally having a manager who understands the fans' passion for the derby. Because up until now, Dan, I think the Cardiff managers' kind of lackluster passion for the derby has always reflected in the final results, because Cardiff haven't had the better of the results, and they've been battered on many occasions. I'm sure there's a link there,
Yeah, I think you find now football's a business, and so managers, like players, move on an almost constant basis. And I guess whatever club you go to, you have a derby. There's always a derby wherever you are, and I guess it probably gets diluted for them because
it's not their club.
Every few years it's a different location, it's a different derby, it's a different. But then when you look at Mick McCarthy, like you said, he's old school. He played in Scotland. He's been around big derbies, fierce derbies. And I think he understands from that point of view how much it means to everybody at the club. Neil Harris kind of just came across as every game was the same, and what happened.
Which surprised me, really, if I'm honest with you, Dan, because he played for Cardiff, okay, a short time, but he played for Cardiff. He knows the kind of passion in which the club have, but also as well, let's be honest, he is, playing wise, he's a Millwall legend. And we all know about the derbies with Millwall, West Ham, so that kind of surprised me. If he was like, I'm not looking down my big nose at some of these so-called derbies, but if it was something like an Ipswich Norwich or a bloody Brighton Palace, which even to this day I still don't really understand. Yeah. But he was throughout his playing career, he was brought up on the Millwall West Ham rivalry, which which can rival the Cardiff Swansea, if not worse, on some occasions. So that really surprised me. Maybe it's just the new hipster kind of managerial kind of way of looking at it, where as we say, Mick McCarthy being an old head really, and going with the crowd's passion. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's very different now. And I mean, you look back to sort of like Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson are probably the best example of respecting each other, but when they played, they hated each other and they wanted to get the best out of each other. And there was no, Alex Ferguson and Kevin Keegan when Newcastle had a run. It was hatred. There was no way they were prepared to lose. But now you look at things and everybody's so nice and has respect for each other.
It's such a PR game now, you see, Dan, isn't it?
Pep Guardiola doesn't say a bad word about anybody. Everybody's his friend. He respects everybody. Jurgen Klopp's pretty much the same. It's not how it used to be. And I think that's probably credit to Mick McCarthy coming from an older school of football where you're prepared to go out and give absolutely everything to win a derby, and it's a fierce rivalry. But I mean, he came out on the weekend and he was all smiles and shaking hands with the Swansea staff and was, pleasant and polite. And then once the game was over, they made a very big point of having a very big celebration on the field as Swansea had done back.
Yeah. I like that as well. I like that as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's nice to see. That's an old school manager who's obviously sat down and gone through that with them and showed them a video of how they reacted after that game and said, it's time to get our own back. And it's wonderful to see.
Well, I mean, there's nothing else to say, really. It was a fantastic win. One thing, in when another added little statistic, which was also put to bed. I know it completed the fear of them doing a double over us. But also as well, Dan, it was McCarthy's first win since a new contract, which I thought that kind of that puts that worry to bed as well.
Yeah, I think. Look, I mean, I'm still not taking him as a massive long term. He's in his 70s. He's not going to be with us forever.
No, I know, but
I can understand.
Sorry.
I can understand why they gave him the new contract. And I mean, in the current climate, I mean, we're not going to go out and get an Eddie Howe or a young manager who's going to be with us for the next 20 years. Financially, we probably haven't got the clout to do that. So, I mean, for the minute, I think he is a great appointment. I mean, in fairness, he signed a new contract and he had a horror run of games of like Huddersfield away. And, games are never going to be pretty to watch. They're never going to be fantastic. And I mean, coming away with a draw is probably about the best you can hope for when you go there in the first place. So, I mean, it doesn't worry me. It's nice that he's got another win under his belt, but I think it's all been positive since he's been here. So, I mean, I can't say a bad word about him, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Well, you still fancy us for the playoffs or just short?
I think we're relying on a lot going on around us. I mean, there's no reason we can't make it if we keep playing well and we keep winning. Of course we can, but I think relying on other clubs to do you a favour is probably never great. So I think we probably finished just a bit short of them. Unless
I've always said, I've always said that Wickham game was key for me. That should have been the bullet for Harris. But you never know. It may well be McCarthy may not have been available straight away like that, But it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. Try saying that with a list as well. But okay, going on to Wales then. I mean, we all know how good Belgium was. I went into that game, especially with Ramsey being out. I went into that game hoping for the best. And thinking the worst, if I'm honest with you. What were your opinion with it?
Yeah, look, they're probably, for my money, the best team in the world at the moment, Belgium, internationally. look, I think I was the same as you. I went into it just hoping for an half-tidy performance. I didn't expect to win, didn't even expect to get a point. I mean, well, for 5 minutes, we scored a goal probably worthy of a Brazil highlight reel, and everything was going wonderfully. But I think, look, overall, I don't think it was a bad performance. I didn't leave thinking.
I agree.
I didn't think leave thinking we were horrendous. I thought they played well. But they were just outclassed. And I think when it comes to Wales, that's going to happen on occasion. We've been punching above our weight now for I don't know how many years. And I think we're always going to come up against teams that just got a little bit more class than we have, and we're going to struggle.
I think it's just we're in between transition stages now again, aren't we? I think.
I mean, you look like Gareth Bale's probably heading towards the end of his career, full stop. Aaron Ramsey's injured more often than not, and he's probably heading towards the twilight years as well. I mean, so we're kind of in that awkward stage, and where all of these players that have kind of taken us beyond where we've ever been are now starting to filter out. And you just got to hope that we keep pushing forward rather than regress back to what we had for the 10, 20, 30, God knows how many years before.
Yeah, Bobby Gould, keep away from West FA offices. Well, hopefully, Dan. I mean, I'm sure you would think along the same lines. We need Belgium to run away with this group, and I know we've got Czech Republic coming up now. But I tell you what, I've got man-loving crush on with Souček. I really, really rate this guy, and West Ham is going to be a stepping stone for him. He is going to be some player in a year or two's time.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, look, Czech Republic, I think I wouldn't hold any fear going into that. I think that's a game we can win. I mean, I think Belgium are the standout, and you say, I think they will run away with the group, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to do anything to stop them. But I mean, as regards to the rest of the group, I think we should be going into every game fully confident. I mean, other than Souček, I probably couldn't name anybody that plays for the Czech Republic team. So I mean, I think we've
got that right back of near at the West Ham as well. Kufal, I think he pronounced it. Basically, Souček was the Czech Player of the Year, and Kufal second. And West Ham fans actually say that Kufal is an even better signing than Souček because he was so much cheaper as well. But to take them out of the equation, you're right. It's not like the days of Neved and all the others,
they're going to be made up heavily of boys that play for Czech teams, which is not the best standard of football. So I mean, I don't think there's any fear for Wales in any of those games as long as we play like we did against Belgium. I think we'd be all right.
And we're going quite quickly through these issues, right, folks? First of all, do you agree or disagree with his non-inclusion of the Welsh team? And secondly, as well, there's been kind of like a snowballing effect on the rumours that both Sheffield United and Norwich are interested in him at 7 million. It was quoted for him to go in the summer. What's your opinions on both?
I mean, I think it's the correct decision to have left him out. I think, look, I mean, because he plays for Cardiff City, there's become this sort of, it's almost cringeworthy at this point, like outpouring for him to be in the Wales setup from Cardiff fans. And look, he's not been playing well. We're on a good run. He's been included in the team while we're on that good run on occasion, but he's not playing well. He's
I
too
agree.
Slow. He's like, we're in the championship. He's too slow in the championship. His distribution is horrendous. Half the passes he makes go to the opposition. The other half end up somewhere in the right direction, but I never pinpoint. He's just not been playing well, and I mean that's not somebody who should be in an international setup. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I think it's as to him being sold. I think that's where we really lack at the moment. Obviously, we don't have much depth in the squad. I mean, if you could keep hold of Ojo Wilson, which I know is sort of dream team, probably never going to happen, with Kiefer Moore, the front is fine. Our back five is performing well. It needs a little bit more strength in depth. But the middle of the park is where we really, really struggle because I think we're slow.
And also, Dan, listen, if one of them clubs come in 7 million, I'm quite happy to get next easy flight back. COVID, protected. But we both know that there's real worry down Cardiff City at the moment regarding the end of parachute payments in the summer. If that 7 million can come in and help soften that blow, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've seen with Perry NG that you can find diamonds in the rough for relatively little to no money who can come in and not only perform but excel at championship level and possibly further. So I mean, £7 million is quite a lot of money for what I was. I mean, Norwich probably going to. Well, they're definitely going up. I don't see him play. He's not performing in the championship. I don't. That's an odd signing. Sheffield United obviously are coming down, so I could understand that move. But for 7 million, I'd quite happily take that and go out searching for a little diamond in the rough from League One who can come in and do a better job, because I think we really lack speed there. I mean, you've got Marlon Park again, looks like he's pulling a trailer constantly when he's running. He's too slow. They turn the ball over too often, and if it wasn't for the fact that the back five are performing so well, it probably would have cost us a lot more than it has.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. It's a good point. We're going just in a comment. I know we'll been a certain person messing us around in the comments, but Dave is in the house. Hi, Dave. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. How are you getting your football fix now, then, Dan? Are you just going to wait until the next lot of internationals, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's always quiet over international break because I pretty much just work club games. I tend not to do anything with the internationals, so it's quiet on that front. But obviously, I got other stuff keeping me busy. Just waiting for club games to get back. The international break is usually a boring time when you're working.
I know what you mean. I noticed that a lot of other YouTubers do struggle on international because they mainly focus on their own clubs, really. Don't know. Are you old enough? Are you old enough to remember St. and Gravesy on a Saturday afternoon?
Oh God, no.
No, right, okay. I did upload an old St. and Gravesy clip, but yesterday over here, Spain drew surprisingly with Greece, but Spain have never lost at home a qualifier, whether it is in the Euros or the World Cup. So they still got that intact, but very poor dropping points. And Gibraltar lost to Norway, I think 3-0. So yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the internationals, but it does give me a break, really.
I think the problem is these qualifying tournaments seem to be so long and drawn out over such a large period. I mean, when the World Cup's on, European Championships, you've got like a 4-week block of games every day. Everybody's fighting for something, but with qualifiers, it goes on for so long that it's.
Well, I'm fully of. I mean, Guy Lineker. Guy Lineker must be watching his channel at times, I tell you, because he done a suggestion on Twitter, which I mentioned a few hours previously. I'm all up for like a preliminary kind of qualifier now before you get to this stage in the European qualifiers. Having a group like of San Marinos, the Gibraltars, the Liechtensteins, and maybe getting one or two out of that kind of pool and going in, because there's too many there's too many of England San Marino type games now, and as a result, downside of that is that it messes up statistics and it makes a mockery of statistics. You know, so and so player scored how many goals when the likes of Bobby Charlton never played the likes of San Marino. You know, and it kind of like damages people's former players' memories in that respect. You know.
I think there was one that came up yesterday that Mason Mount was the first person since Xavi to create 8 chances in a qualifying game. And I mean, he created it against San Marino, who is, well, I think they've got one professional. Everybody else works full-time jobs and plays football, Sunday league, and are in the international team. I mean, that's not a comparison. And then there were lots of people go back and forth and say, oh, well, Xavi did it against Bosnia. And it's like, right, okay, Bosnia are not great, but they're 56th in the world compared to 210. So there is quite a big difference. I mean, I'm with you completely. I saw Gary Lineker's tweet, and I mean, it's a double-edged sword in the sense that obviously they're trying to open it up to everybody. And, you know, it's probably the biggest game of your life if you're from San Marino and you get to run out at Wembley. But it just becomes a long, drawn-out process.
It does. But also these teams. This was why I kind of like a Nations League, even though I can't. Still to this day, I can't understand how the hell it finishes. But that's why I like. The bottom table. We have Gibraltar's playing Liechtenstein's because they then start winning games rather than getting on a end of a hammering all the time, you know. It's just an opinion, and you know, every time I it just seems I'm just of an age, Dan. I'm sick to death of all these new football fans who stat this stat and that stat and that stat and this pre-assist and all that nonsense. Basically, the FIFA game has brainwashed half of these idiots, you know. Anyway, that's just me ranting. Absolutely ranting. I do apologise. Jack says, Dan, sorry, I got the sun in my eyes. What rugby team are you wearing?
It's the rugby club that I play for, Rumney RFC in Cardiff.
Oh, okay. No worries. Ellen in the house. I'm new to this channel. Really good work, Brownie. Well, thank you very much. And get you friends, family, cat and dog to all subscribe as well. But thank you very much. Much appreciated. Jack, sorry, guys. Bloody son, I had my Mick McCarthy hat on, but not. Oh, yeah, Brownie, how is the Russian? She's all right. She's all right. I'm going to have to tread carefully during this international break. You know, she hasn't done me dinner today, which is no good thing. Maximus, how come England always get piss poor group? What's your opinion on that, Dan?
I mean, I suppose it's just luck of the draw to a point, isn't it? I mean, I think if you look through all the groups, most of them are generally piss poor. I mean, you always have one team that is always going to run away with it. And occasionally you'll get a Germany and a Spain drawn together and you have a bit of a fight at the top. But for the most part, I think if you go through all of them, I think all the big nations are pretty much in the same situation, really.
And Maximus, apparently because we won all our Nations League, we have to playoff place. Yeah, I think you mentioned this last night, Maximus. So we'd have at least a playoff place for the World Cup. That's what he's saying. Dan, I'll be honest with you, I haven't got a clue, mate, what the hell is happening in the Nations League. You know,
I spend all day, every day working with football, and I couldn't tell you what goes on with the Nations League.
There's another one as well now. There's another one as well, which is the Europa League Conference or whatever you call it. Which is that's going to be fun and games for the mathematicians, which is out there as well. Right, we'll leave it at Stan. I know you're a busy person and you've got your family as well. Right. Dan, where can people find you? I can't see the screen, I'll be honest with you. That's another reason which we'll have to leave it. Yeah, Dan, where can people find you?
Same as always, mate, on Twitter at DJB Football. Any work and things I do go up on there when it comes out.
And just for people to know me, and because Dan also does, he does also focus on Italian and German football. I know, we both have had workloads outside of YouTube. We've been sinking in work at the moment outside of YouTube. So we are trying to think of a format in bringing some I want to do a European show, but a different kind of league every week. And when it comes up with German or Italian league to talk about, I want to bring Dan on, because I have been in contact with someone who does, La Liga as well. Also the Romanian and the Russian league as well, So just a bit different out there. But with your expert eye on German and Italian football, I hope that we can sort something out in the near future.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no worries. I didn't want to put you. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
We'll jump on and do it.
I didn't want to put you on a spot, Dan, in front of everyone, so I do apologize. But anyway, guys, going to have to make a move. I will be doing a chat with Steve tonight, podcast with Steve tonight. But Dan, many thanks for your support and your time, and we'll speak soon.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Take care. Bye-bye.